Hello and thank you for joining me today on the Political Conversationalist. My name is Ben Phipps and it's Friday, so we're going to be doing another brief update video of what happened this week in U.S. politics or U.S. news. I've got three big impactful news stories that I believe will be impactful over new events happening in the next couple weeks. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and start with those. Firstly, there's a new trade deal aimed at replacing NAFTA in the works. Reportedly, Donald Trump, the American president, and the president of Mexico have been working on a new trade deal to replace NAFTA, which Trump has historically called the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals, maybe ever. Now really, he's aimed at bringing higher paying manufacturing jobs back up to the U.S. as opposed to having them outsourced and having cheaper goods in the U.S. as was the previous policy. Canada is not yet signed on board, although they are deliberating on it, and I believe they gave them until either Friday or Monday to make a final decision. If not, Trump has said he would pursue a separate deal between the U.S. and Canada, but that he was totally open with them being in the new NAFTA. He doesn't want it to be called NAFTA, however, because that name has bad connotations. Secondly, there was a shooting at a Madden tournament in Florida. Most people know what Madden is, but if you don't, Madden is the NFL's official video game. 2 people were killed and 11 others were injured. The gunman also killed himself. Reportedly, which this is scantily reported by people who were actually there, he went on the rampage after losing and being kicked out of the tournament because of his loss. And his name was Brian Katz. He was a former champion of some other Madden tournaments. According to the article I just read a few moments ago, he legally purchased the 2 handguns he used in the shooting. Well, it looked like only one, but the 2 he had. He legally purchased those in Baltimore. And according to a statement from his mother, he had lots of mental health issues, including being prescribed antidepressants, but not ever taking them. There was one more in-depth article, it's not the one I linked, but I'm sure you can find it, which has a longer statement from his mother that basically shows just the fragile mental state that he was in. Somebody like that, in my opinion, should not be able to purchase firearms. The owner of the gun store should really have common sense to know if someone seems unstable, we should not, sell them a firearm, but some people are money hungry. So maybe that will open up the debate to more gun control and get the debate off of assault rifles, which is a really pointless point of the gun control debate to argue about. Lastly, John McCain passed away. I've just got some brief highlights from John McCain's life, and then I'm going to talk about why it was important. John McCain was a graduate of the Naval Academy. After that, he was a naval aviator during Vietnam. He was shot down and captured in 1967 and became a prisoner of war until 1981. When he was released, he moved back to Arizona and served in Congress from 1982 to 1985. And then from Senate, he went until 1986, all the way up until 2016. Now, I didn't really look too much into John McCain before he passed away. Just a senator, really. There's a lot of them. I don't read about every senator in the U.S. But one thing I keep finding over and over and over again is that he was what was termed a maverick. Now, of course, we think Top Gun and things like that when we think of maverick, but he didn't always vote along party lines. He had a strong moral compass to do what was right, regardless of whether or not the majority wanted to do what was right. And I think we need more people like that in politics who are willing to go against the status quo, go against their peers and colleagues to do what is better for the people and to do what is morally correct. Anyway, I hope you learned a little something today about what's going on in politics. If you have any comments or questions about these stories, you can always leave them down in the comments below. If you have a longer question or you'd like a question submitted to like a Q&A video I'm planning on doing in the future, go ahead and follow me on Facebook or just go to my Facebook page and you can email me from there if you have any long questions. Thanks for watching.